Ja!
Is cha mean go?
That means go.
Okay. All right. That's right, you geeks. Welcome into the Echo Screen, the official podcast of the Clan of the Grey Wolf. I'm glad that all of you are waiting out there so patiently because we are now 5 minutes late.
Yes, but it's okay because we have microphones that hopefully work now.
5 minutes late. That's embarrassing. We got to do better. Anyway, as always, I am your host of the Echo Screen Live, the Commodore.
Ding ding.
That's better. You didn't do anything last time.
I failed.
Well, look, everybody has their job. Yours is to make the ding ding sound.
Well, now that I know, how much do I get paid for that?
We don't get paid for any of this.
Is it a commission thing?
No.
No. Never mind.
Well, I mean, there could be, depending. I haven't really thought about it. Anyway,
Okay.
And with me is the always vigilant, ever watchful, Rue. How you doing, Rue?
I'm doing all right.
Good. I kind of knew that already.
Yeah, you did. I don't know why you asked that. That was
I always, it's for the peoples.
Oh.
What?
The whole... We missed 5 minutes of talking.
Oh, did we really?
Yes.
Damn.
They're excited. Stream is choppy.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Yes.
We get a little chop now here. Putting a little chop on us right now. Let's look at the choppiness of the whole. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about today. There are a lot of cool things going on.
We gotta get to it.
We've got to get to it. I think this could be the best episode we've ever done.
That's probably a giant lie.
I think it's the best. I think it's going to be the best, and I don't think there is any other way to look at it. Of course, this is only, the third or fourth one we've done?
Fourth.
So, the bar is not high.
No.
We also still don't have any kind of
Music.
semblance of a real show here. We're just kind of talking.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're working on it. Better shows will be happening every single time. We can almost guarantee that now. So, as I said, I guarantee this is the best show. We're going to be talking to the main topics.
So let's throw some red meat to the people. There.
That's what I'm doing. That's called a segue.
And
See
you
what
know,
I'm doing?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about a lot of cool things today, including the brand new, wonderful piece of technology that just came out today.
From Apple.
That didn't come out today, but it was announced
today. Everyone knows what we're talking about.
Apple TV.
Yes. All three of you that have one of those.
We're going to talk so much about that. It's going to be ridiculous.
I have a secret. I actually know someone who has an Apple TV.
I know lots of people that do. That's not the point.
Okay.
We might talk about that a little bit.
Yes.
We might talk about some other things. I don't know. We're also going to talk about, maybe some of you might have tuned in because of the fact that we were going to talk about generational issues, let's say.
We're going to solve all generational issues.
We're going to solve every single generational problem tonight.
Or gripe about them, more likely.
On the air. Getting it done. Making sure that it happens.
Yes. As
you tap your microphone.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the air.
Yes. We are, in fact, on the air. That's why we do a live show. So we're going to talk about that.
This is an Apple TV.
And we're going to talk about how most of you are probably all lazy bastards.
Yes.
And you should really get a life.
And a job.
And
stop sucking so much.
Yes. But before we talk about that, we will talk about the news. And then everybody's favorite section of the show, I think, at the end, where we do take questions. Okay, people have told me it's their favorite section of the show. I don't know.
Boxers or briefs?
Well, I don't think that's appropriate.
Both!
Boxer briefs?
Double.
Got it.
Double protection.
Double bag.
Anyway.
Anywho, so we're going to take the questions at the end. So if you do have questions, you should please submit them on the chat, but only in a private chat to Clan of the Grey Wolf, which is right. You're supposed to have that queued up.
Oh, whoops.
You're supposed to go here when I say that.
Also, Brian, I see you in the chat, and I think I know what article you're talking about. I think I already read it, and it is going to be coming up later. Just to say.
Ninto gave hugs. I like that. That's good. Yeah, so anyway, if you have a question that you would like us to tackle at the end of the show, you can private message this particular, what is it, COTGW, since you don't have it loaded up, Mr.
This.
Fancy Pants?
PMQQ here.
PMQQ here.
There, perfect.
That's what you do. You go and private message that particular, don't private message anyone else, just that, and ask questions, and we promise we will try to answer as many as we can. Anyway, so those are the phases of the show, and now that you're familiar with the phases of the show, and those of you that have seen the show before, I apologize. Let's get to it. We talked about Apple today, didn't we?
I got my little thing on the thing. I'm waiting for you to bring it up.
I was waiting for you to say Linsanity when you put your hand like this. I was going to go Linsanity.
I'm so past Linsanity now. It's not even funny.
Yeah, so the Human Sentai Pad was actually announced today.
Part 3.
Part 3.
Yes. I just like that transition. That was amazing. We got technology here, folks.
Boom. Man, that's good. That is good looking. That's a good looking iPad. I don't know.
It looks just like the previous one.
It really does. One looks a little more saturated.
Thinner.
One looks a little more saturated. To be fair.
Yeah.
One looks a little bit worse than the other.
So yeah, Apple, no shock to anyone, comes out with they announced the iPad 3 today.
Yes.
And the
iPad Part 3.
Pretty much the prices stay the same from what the iPad 2 was, right? I mean,
makes sense.
The bare bottom
the Nintendo
one,
model.
Not at all.
Till the Wii.
Except because Nintendo sells things for affordable prices.
What?
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 What? So you have
How much was your Wii?
$250.
There you go.
How much was your PS3 at launch?
I didn't buy a PS3.
Exactly.
Okay.
Ding, ding, ding.
Not sure exactly who won that argument.
Checkmate. Anyway, what?
I have no idea what you just said.
So yeah, the iPad 3 is the cheapest one's $500.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
No,
yes.
400. The old one is 400 now. Yes, right. You're right. Cheapest of the new. Cheapest of the new. Yes, you're right. Sorry.
So for 16 gigabytes, Wi-Fi only, etc., etc.
Yes.
And the most expensive one is $800 and some dollars.
Is very expensive.
For 4G.
Yes.
64 gigabytes.
For people who print money.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
What else is
the
new
old
about
iPad is actually being discounted. So if you were a latecomer to the second generation, you can actually...
Yeah. $500 is the cheap version.
Yeah, the cheap version.
So when are you getting yours?
That's a tough question. I have actually really legitimately thought about getting an iPad. I'm not an iOS kind of a guy. I've always been a Mac guy, not an Apple guy. But I got to tell you, I'm really intrigued by the second iteration of the Kindle.
The Fire 2, you mean? Because
right. There were plenty of Kindles. I know. You're right. The Kindle Fire, whatever they're going to call it, Flames.
Which isn't officially
flaming
released, or it's not officially been mentioned yet. But everyone's saying it's expected before.
It's a coming.
Like not even Christmas season, more like maybe this fall.
I'm hoping, because I'd get one of those. Because I think that better represents, I guess, what tablets are probably going to be for us. They're going to be fairly small in terms of what they're able to do. The windows of what they're doing aren't very... Did I just say Windows? I did.
You did.
I said Windows.
So you're getting a Windows pad?
Yeah, I'm getting a window pad.
That sounds kind of gross.
Yeah, that does sound... Well, of course, iPad sounded pretty gross the first time you heard it, too.
Well, it still sounds pretty gross.
I mean, let's just be honest. And it's not even as gross as the Human Sentai Pad. Anyway, so what I find interesting is that you can now get an iPad with 4G, but you can't get an iPhone with 4G. Do you find that strange at all?
Yeah, what's going on? I mean, they had the iPhone 4S. Is that what it is?
Which is the best-selling iPhone model to date.
People buy things. But anyway, and it was like marginally upgraded. The biggest upgrade really was Siri. Which was essentially a software upgrade. I mean, they say they couldn't put it on the previous models because of the microphone attenuation or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Regardless,
whatever.
It's mostly a software upgrade.
Yeah, whatever.
But still, people bought it. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So
the form. I guess even the form factor wasn't even that.
The real question is, why would anyone pay $800+ for an iPad?
Well, I think it's the same. You could ask the same question about why would someone spend $80,000 on a BMW.
I think that's a very good point. This is definitely a luxury item.
It is,
and a bit of a toy.
It is. It absolutely is. I think it's kind of an executive toy.
I mean, not to say that you can't do something worthwhile on an iPad.
Absolutely not.
But you can do the same things for much cheaper.
Elsewhere. You can do the same things, maybe. Well, not even the same things.
Maybe not exact same. Most of the same things. Similar.
You can do most of the same things, but just like Apple's always tried to do this, it's about the experience, not the actual content, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily about the fact that you're enjoying music. You're enjoying music with Apple's kind of bent on it, right? You're browsing the web, but you're browsing the web through the way that Apple wants you to browse the web, right? Mm-hmm. The flash, the sizzle, the sex, and the pizzazz of
You
Apple.
said sex.
Why is that significant?
I don't know.
At all.
I don't know.
I'm really confused now.
Yes.
Anyway, so
speaking of,
yes,
this is the first major product launch really at all without that guy that used to head up Apple. I can't remember his name. Steve Wozniak. Right?
God, I love the Woz. Somewhere the Woz right now is cringing that you even said that.
Hey, he's a smart guy.
I love the Woz.
He's a very intelligent person, and I respect him a lot.
Woz is the dude.
Now, as for that other guy...
Yes, Stephen Jobs.
Yes.
I believe is who you're thinking of. So Tim Cook has his, this is going to be the legacy of Steve Jobs, is whether or not, right, Tim Cook can kind of step into this role and continue. Even though I think Tim Cook had a lot more to do with Apple's success in many ways with some of the products that it launched, right? Mm-hmm. Not in terms of design, but Tim Cook is a he's a manufacturing kind of guru. The guy is a back end parts kind of a procurement kind of a guy. He's the guy that changed the way technology is made in the 21st century. Steve Jobs was very much more on the design side, very much more on the way things looked and felt. Tim Cook is very much the nuts and bolts of how products get made these days. And everyone, by the way, is trying to emulate what Apple has done, what Tim Cook did for Apple.
True.
Everyone.
So here's a question going back a little bit, though. You were saying that this is like the BMW of tablets.
Yes.
Right.
So,
but why are they selling so well if that's the case?
BMW sell very well.
Millions and millions.
Well,
like it does leading the market.
Leading the market
in cars
in certain respects, right? So if you have to take so first of all, BMW was not the first car. Neither was the iPad. The iPad was not the first tablet.
Right.
But the iPad was the first tablet that didn't come with an operating system that was really based on PC. I'm sorry, not necessarily on a PC, but on PC hardware, right?
Sure.
So you have Windows tablets, right? HP had several iterations of Windows tablets that all failed miserably because Windows is a ridiculously bad operating system, at least in its previous iterations. And you had Linux pads, right? But all of those pieces of software were designed specifically for desktop environments. The iPad is the first tablet that takes the iOS operating system, which is designed preeminently to be a mobile operating system, and ports it to a tablet. So it is the first to market in that regard. And every single thing past it has copied it. You can't say that about a BMW.
Okay, true. But my point is,
at least in most,
if this is so expensive, why are people? And I think we have established it's pretty well. This isn't a secret. There's no secret sauce in these iPads that just can't be replicated to a fairly good degree.
On the supply chain side, well, that's Tim Cook, right? On the supply chain side, no one can replicate it. They're like Walmart.
Well, but the problem is that they have all their stuff is made by Foxconn, which makes stuff for everyone else.
Not all of it, and that's one of the big significant. That's all the Foxconn does a lot of the assembly, right? But they don't manufacture all the products. So, I mean, for example, one of the things they're doing now, and I'm not an Apple defender. You guys know this, right? But for example, some of the processing units are actually made in Texas, designed and made in Texas, and then assembled at Foxconn. So you see what I'm saying? The Apple is. All right, let me try to get to what you're actually trying to get to.
Yes.
All right, what you're trying to get to is that this is a very expensive luxury item.
Yes.
And people are buying it as if it's not. Because high-end luxury items have a niche, and this doesn't seem to have a niche. It seems like everybody wants one of these.
Right, so what's the deal? Why are people paying so much money for these things?
I think it has a lot to do with the cultural formations of the internet and how technological our society is now. So you could look at how the tablet has affected something like the car, for example, and see significant design changes in how people are designing cars now because of the internet, because of tablets, because of smartphones, so on and so forth.
Now, I won't debate that Apple is a driver of...
No, they aren't a driver. They are the driver. But go ahead.
Yeah. A large driver of technological standards. Obviously with the iPhone.
Right.
To the iPad, I would say to a lesser extent. I think the iPhone was more revolutionary than the iPad, really.
Yes. Yes.
But, so my point...
They made the smartphone. Yeah, go ahead.
So here's a statement.
Yes.
If someone who makes less than a certain amount of money a year, let's throw out $100,000 a year,
okay,
buys an iPad...
Yes.
I have trouble thinking that they have very good business acumen.
I don't know, because I think, here's the thing.
Because they're buying something